LA riots, man. LA riots is going on right now. It is mass hysteria in LA. I've actually talked to family members and friends out there. I got family all throughout California, so they've given me their take on what's going on. So they're on the ground, and they got a lot to say about it, man. So without further ado, let's get into what's going on in LA, man. I mean, Los Angeles, California is they going crazy, man. They going crazy. Let's take a look.
Let's get straight to Brooke Singman now with the very latest on those anti-ICE protests. Hi, Brooke.
Hey guys, it was the fourth straight day of anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles as demonstrators are protesting against the Trump administration's immigration raids throughout the city. So at least 53 people have been arrested as violent protesters face off against police with flashbangs and rubber bullets flying. President Trump authorized an additional 2,000 National Guard members to help respond to the protests. And California Governor Gavin Newsom says the move only creates more tension and unrest. The administration also deploying 700 active duty Marines because of the increased threats against federal buildings. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirming the deployment, saying, quote, "We have an obligation to defend federal law enforcement officers, even if Gavin Newsom will not." Newsom responding, saying the Secretary of Defense is illegally deploying them onto American streets so Trump can have a talking point at his parade this weekend. "We will sue to stop this." California has already confirmed it will sue Trump over his decision to activate the National Guard. Trump and Newsom went back and forth all day long, with the president even saying he would support arresting the California governor over obstructing ICE operations. Listen.
Gavin Newsom he daring Tom Homey to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows.
Facts.
In the meantime, Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming the suspect accused of throwing rocks at a federal officer has been identified. Bondi says he is now on the most wanted list and is considered a fugitive.
That guy has just been identified, and they are doing a search warrant on his house as we speak. So you can run, you can't hide. We are coming after you federally. If you assault a police officer, if you rob a store, if you loot, if you spit on a police officer, we're coming after you.
That's the way it should be, man. Just to comment on what President Trump said, man. I mean, Gavin Newsom, as he's asking to be arrested, you know that's all for political theater, man. That's all for politics, man. That's all that is. But you know, Gavin Newsom, he's not doing a good job. And this okay, I don't live in California, but I have a lot of family members that live in California, born and raised in California. They all were in LA. A lot of them are still in LA, but a lot of them also are spread throughout California. But they are very familiar with the situation that's going on, very familiar with the mayor and with Gavin Newsom, the governor. And they are not fans. And I'm talking about people who were all Democrats at one time. Most of them have converted over. They're Republicans, but a good amount of my family out there are still Democrats. And I can tell you this, all of them agree that Gavin Newsom needs to be replaced as governor. And was it Mayor Bass? They are not a fan of hers either. And this is both. This is both the Republican and Democrat family members and friends as well. They're upset of what's going on in California, and they have been upset for a long time. And this is before the fires that happened. This is before what's going on with all these protests that's going on. So just keep that in mind, man. California, y'all need to step up. People in California, if you are upset with what's going on with Gavin Newsom, y'all need to vote that man out.
The FBI is offering a reward of up to $50,000 for any information leading to his arrest and conviction.
Oh, yeah, this is
all
crazy.
Right, Brooke Singman live for us. Brooke, thank you so much. Let's bring in Los Angeles business owner and LAFD honorary fire chief Paul Scrivino. Paul, good morning to you. So how do people who aren't rioting in Los Angeles right now feel about these riots?
Good morning, Carly. Good morning, Todd. We're sick and tired of it.
Facts.
we have no one in charge. I would go so far as to say we have children in charge of Los Angeles right now. Look, I know you guys. I know you guys are watched by the White House. I know President Trump is watching this show right now. I want to talk to President Trump and to Pete Hegseth and to Kristi Noem and to people that were elected in November to change this. I'm telling you now, you're losing Los Angeles. The people in charge have lost all control of the emergency services here in Los Angeles. Ports, airports, nothing is protected. We really need that help to come in here. We've lost complete control. You see the pictures. We don't have to talk about the pictures. It's the people that are in charge have zero respect for tax-paying citizens anymore. They are giving it all to these paid out-of-state. I don't even know where these people are from. I would say 3% of them are actually illegal immigrants that are protesting. It's got to end, and the only person who can do this is Donald Trump. The people in charge of Los Angeles are all activists, social justice warriors, out with an agenda. I believe with all the message that I was able to get out, we got the DEI fire chief fired, and I thought that was a great thing. But there's so many other people in place in the city of Los Angeles, in the city council. The city controller is a First Amendment auditor. The city controller, I believe, had one of his staff's daughters arrested. One of our council members, the one who you may have heard use the words mobilize and troops, Ulysses Hernandez. She's out of control. These are the people that are in charge right now. We have a...
Paul, are you there?
I am here.
I think he just dropped out a little bit, but he was making a fiery point. Paul, do we have you back?
I'm here.
All right, please continue your point.
I was just going to say the mayor is not only an incompetent executive, but she has appointed incompetent, again, social activists, social justice warriors. I'm going to give you a quick, specific example.
You know, that seems to be the consensus there, man. The civil unrest that's going on in LA, people are upset. They're tired of it, man. You know, I mean, you're seeing it all over the news, and you know, you have a lot of citizens that are sick and tired of what's going on right now. They're sick and tired of the mayor, Karen Bass, and they're sick and tired of Gavin Newsom, man. So what this gentleman was just saying, that is the sentiment of the people, at least of family members and friends that I've talked to. We were just recently out in LA and all throughout California for close to 2 weeks. And, you know, it is a sense of tension out there, especially in LA, man. Let's take a look at Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. Let's see what she has to say about this.
Listen to what Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass had to say about the ICE arrests that sparked all the chaos.
Last Thursday, there was nothing happening in this town that called for the raids that took place on Friday. Nothing was happening. Nothing warranted the raids. If you remember at the beginning of this administration, we were told that raids would be to look for violent criminals, people who had warrants. But I don't know how you go from a drug dealer to a Home Depot, to people's workplaces where they're just trying to make a living.
Senator Tim Sheehy joins me now. Mayor Bass says nothing was happening before ICE arrived. But these men are convicted murderers, rapists, and they would be on the streets of Los Angeles if they'd not been arrested. I don't understand the mayor's position.
Real quick, man, let me interject. See, this is the problem, man. You have the Democratic leaders, man, like Gavin Newsom and the Mayor Bass. You know, what they do is they encourage this pushback. They encourage people to, you know, to fight back. They go all the way up to the line. They tiptoe to the line, right? Right there. But they want people to push back. They want people to fight back against what President Trump is doing is lawful. They are getting rid of people who are in the country unlawfully. If you are someone here that is in the country illegally, and on top of that, you are doing crime in this country, or you are a criminal in your country and you're a criminal here, they're going to deport you American citizens don't want you here. Now, let's just say, once again, if you are someone who is here and you've committed no other crime other than being here illegally, self-deport. I mean, they're even having financial incentives for you to self-deport. Go back and do it the right way, instead of risking being deported and then risking the chance of never being able to become a citizen of the United States. That's what I think. That's what I think should be done. I think people should self-deport. More people should self-deport and come back through ports of entry and do it the right way.
Well, common sense, too. I mean, that's why we won last election. Americans want a secure border, cheap gas, safe streets, boys are boys, girls are girls, cops are good, criminals are bad.
Facts.
And as we see today, the Democrats still are pushing non-common sense policies. She's sitting there telling us everything's fine in L.A., there's no criminals to be seen. Meanwhile, they're burning cars, attacking cops, wreaking chaos in the streets. So people want safe streets, they want order in the streets, and that's what the president's bringing. So listen, none of us want active duty troops deployed in the U.S., of course not. It's a pillar of our Constitution, but we also need public safety and we need order in the streets, and Americans have every right to feel safe in their own homes.
Governor Newsom is going to be begging President Trump for money to fix some of the problems of his own creation in California. Should he get it?
It all depends on common sense, too. When it comes to wildfire spending, they want money to recover from wildfires. Absolutely want to rebuild those communities, but not if they're going to follow the same wrong-headed policies that put, the snail fish in front of people. And we shouldn't be funding, subsidies for the state of California. If they're not going to enforce laws in their own streets and the federal government has to come in and do the job of the state, city, and county, then we shouldn't be paying for that either. So if they're going to take care of their own house, we'll certainly help them, but we shouldn't be paying for policies that are bad for America.
Yeah. I think it's a matter of time before California becomes a red state. The citizens of California, they are upset, and I'm including Democrats in this, man. They are sick and tired of the political theater of Gavin Newsom. They're tired of the how incompetent he is, how incompetent the mayor is. I predict, man, this is about votes. What's happening in California? If President Trump executes this correctly, and it gets done, and hopefully he yields the results that American citizens want and his administration wants in California, which is to get rid of as many illegal immigrants, if not all, possible. I think you're going to see a change that goes from blue to red in California.
Senator, tomorrow, Senate Republicans meet to discuss Trump's big, beautiful bill. Is this the key issue here? Is it Medicaid waste and fraud? Is that the sticking issue? Is that what the Democrats are?
Okay, they went to go talk about the big, beautiful bill. I want to stay on topic here with what's going on in L.A. You have the L.A. protesters, you have the L.A. riots, you have civil unrest. Let's go to President Trump. He actually speaks on this. He speaks on Gavin Newsom. As you know, President Trump is not a fan of Gavin Newsom.
Mr. President, in 2020, when you were talking about unrest in American cities, you said, quote, "We have to go by the laws. We can't call in the National Guard unless we're requested by a governor." What changed now? Why is this situation different to not consult with Governor Newsom about this?
Well, the biggest change from that statement is we have an incompetent governor. So I talked about governors, but I didn't talk about he's an incompetent governor. Look at
Facts.
the job he's doing in California. He's destroying one of our great states. And if I didn't get involved, if we didn't bring the Guard in, and we would bring more in if we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order. You had a disaster happening. And they now admit it was a disaster. I watched the chief yesterday, who's a good man, by the way, and he said, "Well, we're lucky we did this because they were overwhelmed. You saw what was happening, so we did the right thing. Everybody agrees to that. But you have a governor who let the city burn down, didn't want water to be sent down to him. I sent billions of gallons of water. I wanted to do it in the first term. He wouldn't do it over." I don't know. They have environmental reasons, but there were no environmental reasons. I think it's just a political philosophy. But it's lucky for the people in Los Angeles and in California that we did what we did. We got it just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yep.
And what crime has he committed that would warrant his arrest? What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed?
Yeah, to warrant his arrest, as you
I think his
suggested earlier.
primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job. What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country.
Facts.
And that's pretty bad. It's the wrong philosophy. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them prisoners. They're taking up your health care. They're taking up your space in schools. They're taking up your hospital. And in many cases, they're criminals. And we have to do something about it. And we're doing something about it. I want to thank the incredible patriots of ICE and Tom Homan, who has been incredible, and Kristi Noem, likewise incredible. The job they're doing. And it's like an unforced error. There was no reason for this. 21 million people were allowed into our country, and many of those people were criminals. And it's a shame. It's a
Facts.
shame. But we're getting them out. And I will say, I think it's a 95-5 issue, just like so many other issues, 95-5. And the Democrats lost an election in a landslide because they're on the wrong side of the issues. I mean, it's not even conceivable that somebody would do the kind of things that he did. And then, you talk about projects. They want to build a train going from San Francisco to L.A., and it's costing hundreds of billions of dollars more than they thought it was going to cost. It's not even believable. To Brad and to people sitting here, would you believe that a train, it was going to cost X dollars and it might be 100 times X?
Would have paid for this for about 50 million American children.
You're right.
50 million American children instead of a 3-mile train track that never got built.
We could have put Lincoln in charge with no experience. He would have done a good job.
President Trump, man. When I think about Gavin Newsom and I think about the mayor, Bass, dereliction of duty, both of these people are inept and they need to be replaced. They need to be voted out. So citizens of California, you need to step up and do your job, man. The constituents of Mayor Bass, constituents of Gavin Newsom, you can't possibly be happy with the job that these people are doing. They're not doing the job. And let me tell you something. I just want better politicians to be leaders of California. This is crazy. And I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican, I don't. But anything, in my estimation, is better than what you currently have. This is crazy. I wanted to read something, man. I thought this was an interesting post. Someone posted this on X. I'm going to sneak into Mexico illegally, get welfare benefits and free health care from their government, wave the American flag, burn the Mexican flag, throw rocks at the cops, burn vehicles, and then say the Mexican president is a fascist for trying to stop me. Very powerful, man. Very powerful. We couldn't do it. And probably if American citizens tried to do this over in Mexico, you probably would be unalived, in my estimation. Let's go to the next video here. And you be the judge on what's happening in the streets of LA. They're robbing Apple stores, CVS. They're doing it under the guise of immigration reform and protests against immigrants being deported by the Trump administration. And this is the reason why they need to go ahead and steal iPhones and steal whatever at CVS, man. Probably some condoms. Yeah, they're doing this for the people that are being deported, man. Look, we're gonna stand up for the people that's being deported. There will be people that will defend this, and there will be people that say, yeah, man, we're doing it to stop people from being deported that are here illegally. This is not right. Yeah, I had a conversation this past weekend, family member. I said, okay, if it's not right, explain to me what part of it is not right to you. They couldn't explain. They couldn't explain. Because they agreed. We have a problem. We have a problem with illegal immigrants being here, and we have a problem with some, not all, that are committing crimes in this country, and they need to be sent back. So okay, then what part of it do you have a problem with? It's froze, man. Stop. Could not even articulate an argument at all. You know what they told me? I don't want to talk to them. I said, that's fine. I'm just here. I'm here to have a conversation. You know, a civil discourse. Just want to know. Because this right here is ridiculous. Look at this, man. People just robbing CVS, man. And they're stealing rubbers. Crazy, man. Crazy. Look at this, man. Look, man. This is what I know. I'm from the city, okay? Not this city, but I'm from a major city. And I was young and stupid at one time in my life, and I may or may not have been involved in some stuff like this. But I can tell you this. I can tell you this without a doubt. We were not in there taking things because of some cause. We were taking things because of a come up. We was trying to come up. You take this and that, whatever, you keep one for yourself and you try to sell the rest. Put some money in your pocket, dude. Now, that's a young and dumb version. Do I suggest this now? No. Would I do this now? No. And I allegedly was involved in some stuff like that, just so you know. But civil unrest in LA, man. I'm on the side of President Trump. I'm on the side of, hey, you're calling the National Guard in, whoever President Trump is calling in. That does not give you the right to sit up here and burn cars and torch buildings and rob businesses, man. Oh, I'm going to be so mad because you are deploying the National Guard. And because you're deploying the National Guard, you are impeding on my right to civil protest, right? I should be able to protest. And because you are deploying the National Guard, I'm going to do all of these unlawful things. Come on, man. No, you can still, even with the National Guard there, even with police presence there, you can still conduct yourself in a lawful way. You can still be a lawful citizen. You can still do that, man. You don't have to sit up here and commit crime. That right there is an excuse to commit crime, man. It is what it is, man. Hopefully things get correct in LA and in California. But I think it's going to start when the governor is voted out and the mayor is voted out of LA, Mayor Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom. I think once they are voted out, California, y'all need to do y'all thing. I think that is when the healing is going to start, in my estimation.
There's no misunderstanding today. This is a peaceful protest. This is a riot. We can tell the difference. The governor can tell the difference. Our law enforcement officers can tell the difference. In the event you didn't get that, let me show you something. This is a peaceful protest. This is looting. If you loot, the next thing you can try to steal is something off of your food tray at the county jail, because you're going to jail. That's a guarantee. And we're going to enjoy taking you down there.